one of the things I'm learning about you, Robbie Crawford, is that your affinity for multiple different sports teams.
So when I first moved to Alabama in 2010, I knew about the Braves, and that was about it.
Yeah.
And have grown since then. Learned about the sport of football.
And you have to make a decision, Alabama.
Absolutely.
Even if you pull for another school, you have to know where you stand on Auburn or Alabama.
It's a very real debate.
Yeah.
It's also like free illustration material. Like if you're losing a crowd, right, you can just hit them with that like Roll Tide, and people are either like
or you're out, because
I know you're on the wrong side of that.
That's right.
That stance personally.
We were talking in a brainstorming meeting about what we're doing here today, right? About the blog and shooting these videos, and you said something that actually the rest of us kind of turned our head and we're like, huh? Say that again? You used a phrase. You said the sports pause.
Absolutely.
And I literally have been doing youth ministry for almost 20 years, and I was like, I've never heard that phrase before. And we were like, unpack that, Robbie.
Yeah, it's this. So the sports pause is this sweet spot, right? We all know about it. It's just a title.
Yeah, we're just putting a name on it.
And so it's this moment where sports have really come to an actual stop, where football has ended. The fall sports are closing.
Volleyball's
the winter
over.
sport, volleyball's over. Cheer is not really doing anything.
Yeah. Basketball's yet to really kind of take off.
Exactly.
They're kind of early stages.
So you're in tryout week, right?
Yeah.
So tryouts they're intense.
That's right.
No one's really like, oh man, I really got to work.
That's right.
Yeah. So you're in tryout season, but it's truly this pause between the two, and it's a powerful moment because most of your athletes that are really engaged in those fall sports, they haven't been able to engage in your student ministry so far. And you have a very unique moment where schools are giving you a free access to your students.
Rein those kids kind of back in. So I think where you've kind of led us, and this is such a great topic, is how do we, as youth workers, begin to kind of exploit, maybe the wrong word, there's a negative connotation there, but like work that angle, right? Like I've got this season where I'm going to get some athletes back. And you've talked about hitting November kind of with that same intensity, almost as you would in an August.
Yeah, like when August comes, right? We as youth pastors, as people working with the youth, what we say is we're going to get them because if we can hook them in, them in August, they're like all of a sudden summer's over. Wait, church opens again?
That's right.
I can go to church. And we have this huge intensity. We do big fall kickoff events. Yeah. You budget for that August kickoff. And then we just kind of ride the momentum. And then January comes, and we know that
kind of do it again, kind of bump it back up.
Dean Al's coming around, so let's do it again. Let's get him back after Christmas. And I believe that if we can hit the sports pause, if we can say, you know what, November is just as big a deal as August, then what we're going to do
almost
is
to gather your second win in a way, right? A kind of way to kind of jump. Yeah, that's good.
And it closes it out, and it brings those students that weren't a part of the fall kickoff. They get a chance to have their own event, their own re-welcoming back into the ministry.
Yeah, and you've talked. We were talking about the posture with which you kind of approach athletes, right? And it's almost like you don't want to make them pay for being out of pocket, right? Yeah. We want our students to be well-rounded, and of course, we all know that that sports is that altar that it's actually pretty unhealthy a lot of times. Yeah. But we want to welcome our students back in and basically take that posture of, hey, this is a place for you. We know you've been busy. What we don't want you to do is just write us off for the entire, no, there's a pause now. Volleyball season's over. You get your Wednesday nights back. Come on back in. And
it's still good.
You had a great word about the time that you've invested in that sports season is not time lost.
Absolutely.
Even when they've been out of pockets. Yeah. That's why you were saying the importance of attending games, right?
Yeah. So their time, what we don't want to send this message to students, right, is that you've chosen to not be with me, so I'm choosing to not be with you.
Yeah, definitely
and
not.
So when you go to games, meet people. Don't just sit in the audience, and don't make sure that you just walk up and get that picture of the scoreboard so you have the Instagram post, right?
I was there.
I was there, I promise. But no, meet students in the crowd. Get to know people. Get to know families. It's a really good time. And here's the cool part, right? When a student comes to your event in November and you have them, not only can you greet them, but you greet their teammate as well. And you make the joke about like, hey, I was at that game where you played Thompson or you played someone, and I saw you drop that pass.
But it's okay. You're still good here.
Like, you're still good here, right?
I'm gonna give you this pizza. You're gonna drop
it.
Exactly.
Please don't drop that. And so you have this capital of,
That's right.
Hey, it mattered
Yeah.
what you did,
That's good.
and it matters. Like, I know you as a person.
I love this. I love this. And it's good content. This is a great perspective. So just wrapping up here, you've got your students back, right? The sports pause is you're in it. You're starting to see those football players for the first time, those cheerleaders, right?
Yeah.
In a few months, in a few weeks, your volleyball players. What's a way that you can kind of welcome them back into your youth? Because what you got coming up is, I mean, you're in like the heart of, a lot of people in the heart of sign-up season, right? For your
Absolutely.
starting your winter retreat. So how do we get them back on board?
Absolutely. So if you have, there's a couple of tricks, right? If you have some capital, why not tell your athletes like, hey, you know what? Here's a small little discount code.
Nice.
A little
Yeah,
little
that's
something to
good.
say,
That's
hey,
good.
you didn't come for this, but we care about you. We want
That's
you
right.
to be at this
You've
event.
been out. We
And
want to
so-
welcome you back.
Exactly.
That's good.
You have a spot, but also something as simple as like a card or a congratulations on the season. If you have a
that's
if you have a
money.
player that went deep into playoffs,
Yeah.
man, what if you recognize them in that moment? Send them a card that says and talks about that personal detail.
That's
Lets
good.
them know you're seen and I know what you're doing while you're
That's
not
good.
here. But also attach a little registration card to Disciple Now or things like that.
Not only do things like that mean so much to the student, and that's why we do it, but like if I'm mom and dad and I see that intentionality on the level of youth pastor, I'm like, oh yeah, this guy gets us, this gal gets us, she knows my kids. So that's good stuff. Hey, thank you for that word. That was just what a great piece of content and a perspective you brought to the table. And I love getting to share that with you guys. Listen, if you have any thoughts or questions or any different insights to ask, or maybe how you kind of welcome students back into your youth group after that sports pause, please don't hesitate to let us know. Call us, email us, live chat us, any of the other ways that you contact people, right? We love interacting with you. So
Smoke signals.
that's
whatever.
right, smoke signals, whatever. You guys have a great day. We'll see you soon.